Welcome back, my people. It's a second video of the day, still bringing you educational bangers each and every day. Each day is a new dawn. Each day is a day with a new banger. Each day is a day with a new disease. Each day is a day with a new illness. And I hope you people are benefiting from this. So, if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting? Just click the subscription button, put the notification bell on, so that if I produce any video which is aimed at educating you guys, YouTube will automatically notify you, and you will never lag behind. You will never miss any of our videos. So, thank you for the support. I do appreciate the support you are giving me. Let's continue sharing with our brothers, our sisters, our lovers and haters, so that the channel can grow to greater heights. Let's get back to our discussion, whereby we are discussing about microorganisms that cause food poisoning. We have discussed about bacteria, and in this video we'll be discussing about parasites, which is the second organism that can cause food poisoning. What is a parasite? If somebody asks you, what is a parasite? A parasite is an organism that lives on or in a host. Get this clearly. A parasite is an organism that lives on or in a host organism and gets its food or nourishment from all at the expense of the host. So a parasite just depends on the host for food and with everything, nourishment and everything. So we have three types or three classes of parasites, which are: number one, protozoa, it's a parasite. Number two, helminthes, which involves the hookworm, the tapeworms. Those are parasites. And if you can remember, if you have interstitial worms, they are parasites because they depend on you as the host to survive. That's why where the description comes from, that a parasite is an organism that lives on or in a host and gets its food and nourishment from all at the expense of the host. That means the parasite can't live without the hosts. So the three classes of parasites are protozoa, helminthes, and ectoparasites. So, a food poisoning caused by a parasite is not common. It's not common as food poisoning caused by bacteria. So this means that parasites don't cause as much food poisoning compared to bacteria, because bacteria are very common, and most of these food poisoning cases are usually caused by a bacteria, not necessarily parasites. That's what this statement means. So they don't cause much illness or food poisoning compared to bacteria, but parasites that spread through food are still very dangerous, and they include: number one, Toxoplasma gondii; number two, Giardia; number three, various tapeworms, which belong to the class of helminthes. So various tapeworms such as Taenia saginata, into brackets beef tapeworm. Number two, we have Taenia solium, into brackets pork tapeworm. C, we have Diphlobothrium lateum, or fish tapeworms. Number D, we have Cryptosporidium Cryptosporidium, and also we have Ascaris lubricoides, a type of roundworm. Ascaris lubricans is a type of a roundworm which belong to the class of the Helminthes. We have flukes like flatworms, such as liver flukes and lung fluke. We have pinworms, we have trichinella. There are so many. So, according to CDC, toxoplasmosis is a leading cause of death. Toxoplasmosis is a leading cause of death attributed to food poisoning in United States. This means that food poisoning is fatal. What does the word fatal means? It can cause death. That is how serious food poisoning can be. And most of the cases, all the health workers who have been in health facilities can tell it causes death through things like when you diarrhea so much, because when you have food poisoning, you have to present with diarrhea, vomiting. This causes dehydration, severe dehydration, and that's how we lose some of the patients if they don't arrive in hospitals earlier enough. So food poisoning is very, very dangerous. So if you are there at home, if you suspect that you are having food poisoning, make sure you rush to the nearest health facility as fast as possible. So according to CDC, toxoplasmosis is a leading cause of death attributed to food poisoning in United States. Parasites can live in your digestive tract, that is GIT, and go undetected for years. That means you can carry the parasites in your gastrointestinal system for years without noticing whether you are having them. For example, in the case of helminthes like worms, you can carry them until the time you hear the worm coming out of your anal region. So, people with weakened immune system, and this tells you that your immune system is very important in fighting infection, because every disease we discuss, we come to realize that when your immune system is so down or is weakened, you are at risk of contracting so many diseases. So people with a weakened immune system and pregnant people are at risk of more serious side effects if certain parasites take up residence in their intestines. So if you have those parasites, your intestines are their residence, or your intestines are their home, or where they live. So if your immune system is weak or compromised, you are at a greater risk of serious side effects if these parasites make your GIT their home or their resident. Another group that can be affected by the side effects are the pregnant people. So when you are pregnant, make sure you attend antenatal clinics for screening of all kinds of diseases. This marks the end of our discussion about parasites. We have discussed bacteria and parasites. We are left with one classification of these organisms, which is virus, and we'll be discussing it tomorrow in our next video. So guys, let's continue subscribing, liking, and sharing our videos. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the time. Keep the support on. Have a good evening.